Okay, it's Tori. I'm so excited. We have made it through the first day, and this is the second day, and I don't care if you mixed up your recipes, however, whatever order you're doing them in. I just want to give you some meal ideas and have you a grocery list so you can make it through this whole 30. So you got this. I know you're like, oh my gosh, I need some sugar. I don't know what to do. I'm not functioning right without my normal things, but you are going to be okay. Okay, you're going to be okay. So, and if you're just prepping your meals, then you got this because you're golden. You're already doing it. So, what tonight's meal is actually chicken, either breast, thighs, legs, however you want them, with squash and potatoes. So, there's no recipe really for this, okay? I don't want to scare you, but there's no recipe really for this. I'll tell you what I do when I have this meal, and you feel free to use your own cooking intelligence, if you want to call it that, in your kitchen to make a meal. And that's why I love Whole30 is you can have things that you really like that you would cook anyway. You just modify some of the ingredients that you're using and it still tastes amazing. You just don't use the same like seasonings and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel amazing because I'm doing all these other adjustments in my life too that make it so great. So with the chicken thighs or with the chicken, what I got is chicken thighs. I like those because I like to pan sear them and then bake them in the oven. Okay, so I purchased a large chicken thigh thing and then I separated them out in 2 bags and I said this will be enough for a meal and a leftover lunch. This will be enough for a meal and a leftover lunch. Now, everybody's going to be different on the amount that they're doing. But what I did is when they were defrosted, I got a Ziploc bag. I put some of that extra virgin olive oil in there or avocado oil or whatever oil you're using that's compliant, Whole30 compliant. You could probably even use coconut oil, but I think that might be a little bit sweet. And then I took that garlic lovers seasoning and I put it in there. And all I did was just, what do you call it? Just let them sit. Let them marinate. That's it. Marinate. In the oven or in the fridge. Okay, so I put all the meat in there. I put it in the bag, mix it around. I put one in the fridge. And then I took another bag, which I've already seasoned, and I stuck it in the freezer so that next time I want to have this exact same meal, I just pop it right out and it's already, like pop it out in the morning or when I'm getting ready to meal prep and I'll be ready to go, okay? So that's one tip on how I do my meat. Now, you also can marinate those and, or freeze them or not, or just go ahead and do them all. It's up to you. So what I'm going to do with this chicken is I'll actually just take the chicken, and I have a cast iron skillet, and so I put the chicken in my cast iron skillet. I put it on about medium, and I just pan sear both sides. So, I do them both probably about 5 to 10 minutes on both sides. And then in the meantime, I have my oven on, I think it was on 375 this last time I did it. And then I put them in the oven and I baked it. Okay, my meat was already seasoned. It was very simple. I was able to do other things in the kitchen, help the kids with homework, and then all I did was put them in the oven. I left them in the oven for probably close to 30 or 40 minutes just until they're done. But that's how I did my chicken. And you also could take that same chicken that you marinated and go put it on the grill. Okay, you can take that same chicken that you've marinated and put it in a pan, cover it in full, and bake it in the oven. It's up to you. You can do this chicken however you want to. Just make sure that your seasoning is Whole30 compliant, okay? With my squash, I took my whole squash, chopped them up in nice discus. I put a little olive oil on them. I'm really big on the olive oil, okay? That's where I get my fats. I don't eat a lot of avocado, and I don't eat a lot of like nuts now because I know that I'm really sensitive to them. And so I put a little bit of olive oil on there, and then I did some salt and pepper, and I put them on top of the oven when my chicken's almost done, and I just saute those. And then with my potatoes, one thing I do is, hold on one second, my child's coming in here. Okay, and then, sorry, my child walked in. So I was doing the sauteed vegetables, and then on the potatoes, you can make those same mashed potatoes again that you made the night before. You can take your red new potatoes, because that's what we bought for this week, and cut those up in kind of, I call them like triangular blocks, cut them in half, and then cut it in half again, and like a third, make little blocks, and then take a pan, put some olive oil on them again. I'm telling you, I love me some olive oil. I use some onion powder, some garlic powder, and just a little bit of rosemary, dried rosemary. If you don't have that, because it wasn't something that we requested, I just happen to have it in my cabinet. But you could use the onion powder, the garlic powder, some salt and pepper, just something to give it some flavoring. And cover them with tinfoil. not wrapping the potatoes in tinfoil, but covering them in tinfoil, and then just bake them while your chicken's baking. And then your potatoes become soft. When they come out, you can just eat them plain. And sometimes I like to do it like that and cover it with ranch. I've made the baked potatoes, or I've made the mashed potatoes before. You can even take those same potatoes if you want to, cover them in olive oil, slice them like fries, and bake them in the oven. So it's really up to you with what you want to do with this meal. In my opinion, sometimes making them, what I'll do is I'll have all that meat like already defrosted and just marinating in the oven or in the fridge. I'll also cut up my potatoes, put it in a container, and then have them all set to go. So all I have to do is put it in there. I mean, this can be a very, very easy meal. It's going to take some time for your chicken to cook, but very easy for you while you're doing other things. So that is our chicken squash and potato meal. And if for some reason you don't like those veggies, switch it out with another Whole30 compliant veggie and you should be good. I also like to serve this with a side salad with ranch, so that way my meal will go further. So we have more veggies left over for the next day. And on our salads, we usually use that organic greens mix with a Tessemae ranch or Primal Kitchen ranch. We actually have both in our fridge. And then add some baby carrots on it. So that's it. I hope y'all enjoy. And let me know if you have any questions.